Welcome to an episode of Grifters with Potion, presented by Frog Tony. In this episode, we're going to be talking about, obviously, the grifters. Not just talking about them, but laughing at them because, my God, they're so embarrassing. We're going to be talking about the South of Midnight and how they just can't take it. The blackness is just too much. I'm not going to say that the creators are just racist when it comes to the South of Midnight. But we know why they hate the game. We know why they call it DEI and woke. And that's because because the game, South of Midnight, is unapologetically black. And they just can't handle that for some reason. I don't understand it because I don't have a racist bone in my body. But these guys, I mean, not only them, but their subscribers, and you would think that if you've seen a bunch of racism in your comments, that you will take a step back and evaluate the kind of stuff that you're putting out, the kind of people that you're attracting. But no, that's just their audience and they're okay with it. Me, on the other hand, I'm glad that I lose those people when it comes to my subscribers, because what the hell do I want to hang out with you guys? It says more about me than it does about you. So in this episode, we're gonna just, look at their freak out. Smash JT, a new girl, Savvy. She's one of them that's always been part of their crew, but I've kind of just stayed away from her because. But this time, one of her subscribers or followers kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and she didn't even come out and correct them. So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna throw you in with the bunch now. At least when, you do stupid shit like this. And we're also gonna look at Alyssa Mercante winning, taking it to the chuds. The chuds. Now, one thing that I just don't understand, and these people use it as ammo because it fits their narrative, is Steam numbers when it comes to game launches. Yes, if you have a big old PC game or like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 that launched and, it had a bunch of freaking players on Steam, over 100,000, 200,000 for a good while. It's a good indicator if the game is going to do well on PC. But to just rely on Steam numbers alone doesn't mean that the game is not going to do well, especially when the game is a console launch type of game. For example, Grand Theft Auto, when it launches, is only going to be on console, so Steam numbers aren't going to matter. So yes, Steam numbers are good to look at, but it isn't the all be all when it comes to game sales and people who are playing the game. Especially because a lot of these games are on subscription service, and with subscription service, people ain't going to be buying it. The times have changed. You gotta move on, boomers. But of course, we have the usual suspects bringing up Steam numbers because that's what they do. Grums. SPI game South of Midnight has officially launched. To 946 players. Peak should be in the next 2 hours. Now, the thing that I find funny is that these games live rent-free in Grums' head. Like, he's terminally online Steam looking at all the games that he hates. Ubisoft games, just all day. Ubisoft. And of course, we got Smash JT having to follow his daddy's footsteps. Smash JT. Can't help but think Compulsion Games saw how bad South of Midnight launched and hours later sent a company-wide email for everyone to stop what they're doing and load up their Steam accounts to play the game for the day and boost their charts. Chuds equals owned. Rolling on the floor laughing. Rolling on the floor laughing. Rolling on the floor laughing. Now, the thing that makes me roll on the floor and start laughing is how they self-identify as chuds. Like if people are out there insulting a certain group of gamers that I kind of fell into, I wouldn't self-identify of what they were insulting me with. But yet, they know that they're chuds. They know who they're talking about. And they know they're being owned. So much so that they gotta get petty and look at Steam numbers and base their whole argument on South of Midnight, an Xbox game based on Steam sales. And when people bring that up, this is what he has to say. Game Pass! Rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing. His stupidity is what makes me laugh. Why wouldn't you take Game Pass into account? I'm a hardcore Xbox fan, and I'm playing it on Game Pass. Why? Because I'm not stupid. I get to play the game essentially for free. This Game Pass has already paid for itself this month, so the rest is just gravy. And if I want to, I can pick up the game on sale later on. with a discount. Maybe pick up some merch instead, because the music in this game is top notch. Maybe I'll pick up the damn CD or MP3 or freaking vinyl, who knows? But DEI this and SBI that isn't my source of income like it is for Smash JT. So they gotta make a big deal out of nothing, and this is what it is. But something that is a big deal is how these creators respond to their subscribers and people who comment to them. Especially when they're racist comments, and how they just overlook it like it's no big thing. And why they do it is because most of their subscribers fall into that category. So when they see comments like this, it's no big thing. Savvy. I watched with keen interest on where the modern audience is. Didn't IGN give it an 8? Isn't this a rally cry? Why doesn't it have 30k players? I thought the studio got a bunch of likes on Twitter. And then you have racist people like Plastic Man who just respond to her and she says nothing. It's sad because this game is made by blacks for blacks. ... Oh wait, never mind. ... Nobody hates the blacks more than the blacks, so this adds up. Perhaps I'm being a bit hyperbolic, but this isn't a stretch of the imagination. Trust me when I say there's other people who hate the blacks more. That guy. They should have made a game with guns and balls. The black folk would be all over it. Like, I don't even know what to say to this guy. I would straight just block these people. Like, this is just vile garbage, you know? And like, you're fostering this community of that? If they added drug use, gang violence, and the ability to beat women, it would be a top seller for them. It's like, who even thinks like that of other people? Like, where do you watch this stuff that brainwash you? Obviously, Smash JT, Savvy, and Grums. These people are their subscribers. These people are the type that follow them, that agree with them. And by admission, they all agree with these comments as well. And when you look at the type of people who are spewing this vile, it kind of all makes sense. We look at Plastic Man. He's a God-fearing Christian. It sure sounds like you are, especially with the way that you're trying to treat other people. 100% full-time father, as you should be. Engaged in politics and gaming. Free speech absolutist, sure. Proud to be white. Ha! You can be proud to be white. You can be proud to be Hispanic or black or whatever you want to be. Doesn't mean you have to put down other races. It doesn't mean you have to spew out stereotypes about black people. Stereotypes that aren't true. But people like him just give Christians and other white people a bad name. Makes them look bad. Makes them look racist. Especially because what they're doing is attacking a video game because the main protagonist is black. And because the game takes place in the South. And it's unapologetically a black game. And these people just can't take it. Ryan. The game industry has gone full on to hiring women and alphabet people to make their games for straight white men. They don't seem to grasp that these demographics aren't interested and don't understand what straight men like. So they make what they want and don't sell. See, what Ryan fails to understand is maybe this game is not made for straight white males. Maybe it's made for minorities or people who are interested in black stories, especially because this takes place in the South of America. So maybe this game isn't for racist people who don't like minorities taking leads in games. Because your guys' main argument is that don't infect our games, make your own. And when they come out and make their own, you guys still shit on it because it's not made for you. But what you guys fail to understand is now this is a new America. It is not only for white people. It's not only for white men. Minorities exist. And we're making games now, and we're going to represent everybody. And we're going to make the kind of games that we want to make. And if they sell, so be it. And if they don't, it is what it is. That is why we live in America, a capitalist system, where we can have the freedom to make whatever we want. And if it's something we're going to sell, we let the market decide. But it doesn't mean that you have to be racist towards products that are not aimed towards you. And this is all that it is. These are the kind of people that Smash JT, Savvy, Grums create. And they don't challenge them when they say this stuff because at the end of the day, they agree with it. And then we have Alyssa Mercante, their mortal enemy, who just keeps on winning for some reason. I don't understand. Maybe it's because they contrast the kind of people that she's fighting against and they see the kind of people they are. She's writing for Rolling Stone magazine. Imagine that. Like, what a bump, right? I mean, Rolling Stone is mainstream, not just across the United States, but the world. And Alyssa Mercante is able to write the kind of stuff she wants on there. She has an article right now talking about the chuds. And this article just shines the light to normal people out there who aren't stuck on message boards, who aren't on Twitter just all day looking at Steam boards. but actually reaching out to individuals who have critical thinking skills, individuals out there who actually read and don't regurgitate things that other YouTubers tell them to. While Alyssa Mercante is out here reaching out the mass audience, doing adult things, writing adult articles, we have Smash JT, Grums, Savvy, and the rest of them, the usual suspects, shitting on the game is not for them simply because it has a black protagonist. And it's a game written for black people by black people, and that's where SBI comes in. Sweet Baby Inc. And yes, Compulsion Games uses them for this game. For story development, script writing, some narrative consultant, and the list goes on. But what you guys gotta understand is that this game was made by Compulsion Games in Canada, and most, if not all of the devs are white and live in Canada. So they have to get outside help, especially black writers, to let them know how it is to live in the South and have that black experience. Especially because this game is made by blacks for blacks. So if you want to be more authentic and actually get the right feel that you're looking for, then you go to consultants. Unless you're going to move the whole studio to the South for a good deal of time, which obviously you can't do. But see, this kind of stuff goes over these races' head. Because all they see is black. All they see is Sweet Baby Inc. and they assume the worst. But again, these people aren't really the creative types. So they wouldn't understand, especially when it comes to collaborating with people who are not white. I'm going to leave it right there. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Remember, always be kind to yourself and enjoy your life. And I'll meet you right there. Peace.